Hi everybody. Today I will demonstrate one of the ways, what I think is the best way to remove the ads from an app. To do that, I'm going to demonstrate this using this app here, which is a 100 push-ups trainer. We can see it contains ads. So I'm going to demonstrate this on this particular app because of a personal preference. This app was the first app I was able to crack. So I like to share this information with everyone. And there is different way how we can do it. First, let's download it. So the app is going. Let's wait until the installation is finished. Okay, great. So if we open the app, there is many things we notice here. First time the app is going to load, they have this welcome screen. By moving to the get started, we are going to receive this daily inspiration. But we can see here that the daily inspiration can be easily turned off in the settings. So this is something we don't need to worry about. We can turn it off in the settings and it's not going to happen anymore. So this is not an app. So let's go first to the settings, and we can see here that tips, it's on. Let's turn it off and remove this one. So what I'm talking about is those type of ads. There is different type of ads in this app. So first, if I am in the home page, I can still see that those ads on the bottom lower part still visible. And it's going to do some noise, so I'm going to remove from my settings, let's say no sounds, because it's going to be annoyed. And as you can see, the ads on the bottom level, because I'm connected to internet, they still change, so I'm still loading different app on the screen. So if we go to the home, and let's say today we need to do this 30 push-ups and we finish them, let's do it quickly. Tack, tack, tack. I hope I can do push-up as fast as that. So we receive also another ads at the end of this section. So let's see how usually we remove the ads in the app. And I will show you another way how we can remove it. To do so, I'm going to demonstrate this using Empty Manager. So let's first extract the app. So let's extract it, locate. So this is the app. And in the same folder, I have all the time this file, which share, where there is all the description about each function of the bytecode. So we can refer to this one later if we need it. So first of all, if we go open the app, what usually I do when I am in this situation, I go to search, actually when I am on the main screen, not inside any folder. We go to search, search, and I'm going to search for the word ads. Open. And here we have different files. So let's inspect them all and see what's happening here. The first one is probably not so interested. This is array font, so we are not interested in. Those dex file are the code. So inside the dex file, there is also the word ads. This is one of way we can go inside. Those three are not really interesting. This is for the certificate, and we are not interested in. So let's see, we didn't see anything really catch our eyes. Here we saw some part really catching our eyes, but if you notice that are all finished by properties, which mean like this is a properties of the file. Maybe uninteresting, but let's see what's happening again. So here we can see that we have a layout ad mob, which is something interesting. We can see that we have some ads inside the main page. We can see also inside the form page we have an ads. And we can see also in the current push-up performance page we have an ads, and then reward page we have an ads. So we basically have an ads in the 5 main places inside the app. And also we can see that inside the RRSC, the resources file, we can find also the word ads. So first things, let's examine actually what that means. The activity main, this one here, is the first one will open, is the main activity. The form is when I go to the form in the page, I'm going to see this ads inside. This one here is when I finish my exercise and I'm get my reward that I finish my day. I'm going to see the ads. This was the big screen of ads. And the last action here is when I'm doing my current push up, I can see that also I still have ads on the bottom part. I will first go and investigate where the ads is and what it's called. So let's go to the main one. So it's selected here in green. So let's go inside the file and decompile it. You can use APK Editor Pro, no problem with this. So before of all, I'm going to inside the app again, just to show you why I'm going to look on this place. This is the main page and the exercise page, and we see that the apps in general are located on the lower part. So this is, if it was XML file, I need to go back on the lower part and see those ads. So let's go here to the empty manager. And if this is the activity main, if I go to the lower part, we can see clearly that there is a section here. All this section seems is reserved for the layout ads, and is going to present ad from Google, and it's going to have an image close ads, like something like this, to close it. Is actually this one here. And the ads also having a background with the color gray. So let's go again here and check something also interesting is in type size banner. As you can see, it's like a ban like this. It's not a full page, this ads. So usually the way how we can reduce the apps is by changing the dimension. So by changing here, let's say the high here or here in the ad view, we make it 0. So you take this value here and you change it to 0, and then the app will never show. So actually the ad exists, but you cannot see it. This everyone showed this how we do it. I'm not going to do the same here. All what I'm interested in is I need to know the ID of this ads. So in this case, the ID is the ID/layout ads. What I'm interested in is the hexadecimal value of the ID. So in Empty Manager, it's so easy. If you have the VIP account, you can go here, click on it, do query, and it's going to provide for me the ID. So I'm going to copy this ID. And this ID in APK Editor Pro exists. You can find it in the private and the public XML. So now that I found the ID, hexadecimal ID for this ads value, I'm going to go inside the code and try to check when this ID is going to be called inside the text file. So I'm going to exit. I'm not going to change anything in this one. I'm just going to show you again that inside this, there is different places, but inside this also we know that ads exist inside the text file. This is what we are going to tweak. Sorry, this could take long, but I want to take all the time to explain it step by steps. So before I go anywhere, I copy the ID, the hexadecimal ID of the apps, and you can see here I am still inside the layout, the resource layout. So I'm going back to the main section. I will go to resources just to verify that this is correct. I'm going to the ID here, paste the value of the ID I copy from the ads ID, and I click search. So this is another verification that inside the app, what I copy, this address, represent actually the ID of layout ads, or the ID of the ads appear down here. So this is good. Let's go now and find when this ID is going to be called. So I'm going to go inside the two decks, because I don't know which decks is going to call class, the first one, or class 2. I'm going to decompile both of them. Great. Let's go to search now. And inside the search, we clean this one. I'm going to paste this ID value. This is representing an hexadecimal value, or what we called here a regex. You can do search by keeping the configuration and smali and just say look on all the directories, or to make it a fast search, I know that this is going to be a integer, but from type hexadecimal integer, and I click OK. The only place this is happening is inside this file here. Is the only place it's going to be called is here. The other place you see on the upstairs is exactly how the the file said that this code, this exact decimal code, represent layout ads. One more time. In APK Editor Pro, actually you see this inside the file. This file is the public, so you can see in the public or the XML, you see that this code represent layout ads. So now we know that it represents. Let's go to this place and see what it's called. So I click on it. I'm going to open this. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. First of all, it's a method, a public method. The name of the public method is set add banner visibility. So this, from the name, we understand that this function is responsible of making the ad visible or not. It takes actually two value. You need to make sure that you can see this. Let's move it. It takes two value. Sorry for that. I need to check this one. It takes two value, the set banner visibility. The first value is type activity. This is parameter 1, not P1, parameter 1. And the second value it takes is I. I mean integer. So this will be the second parameter this function, is going to have as an input. The output will be a V or void, so has nothing output. Everything is going to be set inside the function. To prove this, if we go to the end of the method, we saw that it's return a void. So let's analyze this quickly. The code here, 7F0A00ED, is going to be called inside this function as the first constant. So this function said, first set the V0 to this value, or this value, or this ID, layout ads, give it to V0 as a constant inside V0. How can I have it there? Now I have it. Once you have it, this V0 will be the first input to our function inside, and this function is find view ID, and it has one input. This input is from type integer. So I'm going to take V0 and put it here. And this is from type activity. And this activity is going to be on the V0, P0, as a type P0. And then it's going to have an output. And this output, we are going to move this result to V0. After, all this are going to be, my screen is so shitty. Let's put this here for simplicity. After, this V0 is going to be made on a widget from type relative layout. This is a function from Android function. Then we are going to take the second parameter, and this time the V1. And the V1 is going to be put in the function find view by ID, the same one, but this time we are going to put this information. And then all are going to be set for image view. Once the first information is set for relative layout, and the second information is going to be set for the image view, both of them are going to have set visibility. And the set visibility is going to take a parameter called I, or integer. So set visibility will have one parameter also as an integer. As I explained, when the set visibility, the integer value of the input, if it was 0, you make it visible. 4, you make it invisible. And 8, you make it gone. So it means you take it off completely. We can notice something really interesting here. Those set visibility are going to take the integer we have here from the visibility of the input of the main function. This is the input, so we can have this input from somewhere, this integer from somewhere, and this integer is going to be applied in this case, where these two integers are going to take the input we have from here. So this one will take this input, and this one will take that input. So let's go, just to make it easy, and convert it to Java, and it's called set add banner visibility. Where it is. Still don't see it. Yes, it's here. So as we can see, the first things we do is we take the relative layout and we inject this layout adds inside the ID to find the ID and give it to the activity to make the layout. And then this part here will be the type of image we are going to present on this ads. And then all are going to have, we said visibility is going to be set with the integer n, and this integer n, as you can see, is the input of this function. And also, the relative layout will have also the same integer function. So here, if we don't want this as to show those integer function, the input of this should be 8. But there is no place here we can set it, because the set of this value is defined as input in the function. So now if we copy this function here, and we see who called this function to set this integer value. So let's go copy this and dig deeper inside the code to understand it. So let's go back, and this time I'm going to call to see, paste it, who called this function. And because this is not a hexadecimal code, I'm going to do a total search. So this function is also called, interesting, very interesting actually, in the main activity 4 times. Let's go on the first one to see. So the first time is here, and this is called in check add mob. This is the first time. This is the second time, is also called in the check add mob. The third time is also called, so it's called 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, this has all the time an input as integer. So if I analyze the code quickly, let's see. The first thing the code is going to check is going to run this function here. Sorry, the home fragment. And if the v0, the output of this function, is equal to 0, you can see here, we are going to jump directly to condition number 7, this part. So what is going to happen if it wasn't equal to 0? If it wasn't equal to 0, we are going to refresh the exercise after app upgrade. Probably I will be upgraded to premium, maybe. Let's see what's else happening here. So in condition 7, if I didn't upgrade, what's going to happen? First of all, we are going to have get if app was upgraded. So it's going to check if the app is upgraded. And return this inside a return 0. We notice something interesting here in this function. This function takes one content, which is Android content, and the output of this function has an output z. It's a Boolean. A Boolean function's mean is going to have 0 or 1. If the output v0 was 0, if equal to 0, go to condition 13. So we start here. If it wasn't 0, do this one here. So let's say here we have set visibility. So if it wasn't 0, we are going to execute the set banner visibility. So you are going to execute the function, but this time the input of this function is v1, and v1 is set to 8. That's mean if get app was upgraded equal to 1, which means was upgraded, then set visibility to 8. This means don't show the ads. If it wasn't, in this case, you go to condition 13. If it was upgraded, then don't show the ads and go to 34, and 34 return. So do nothing, just don't show the ads and go away. If it wasn't upgraded, then go to level 13. In level 13, it's going to say there is, in the condition 13, there is one test and the second test. Because both of the test if equals 0, it means we have in a function two condition. Condition 1 and condition 2. It means these two conditions should be true to execute the remaining code here. So let's see what are these two conditions. The first condition said, check if the current page equal help. So if the page you are seeing is the help page, and because we have this too, this means like and, check if get if it is the first installation equal 1, because this is a Boolean equation. So here there is two conditions. We need to see if the current page equal help, or and if it's the first time we installed, if it was the first time we installed this page, this app. So if these two are true, then make the visibility also taking v1, and this v1, as we see, still 08. So in this case also, if it was the first time we installed the app, or we are on the help page, so don't show the ads, because that we add the integer here equal 8, so don't show the ads is gone. Otherwise, put v0 equals 0, and then give this v0 this time here, and this v0 is going to set the integer value of the visibility. Otherwise, if those conditions are not true, then show the ads, and this other code is going also to do add view and create the banner and loading the ads. So show the ads and load all this. One way to do it is, we see that in the two other cases, the ads is not going to be shown. Sorry for that. On the first case, we said that the ads is going to be set to 8, so it's not going to be shown. In the second cases, also is going to be set to v1, which is 8, so the ads are not going to be shown. In the third case, or if you want else if, in the third case, the ads are going to be set to 0, so it's going to be visible, and inside this banner, we are going to load all this information. So let's take the action here. First of all, I'm not going to show this banner, so I put it to 8. And second, I don't want those to be loaded at all, so let's remove them completely. This symbol means like I'm committing this line, so this line is going to be deleted or not executed at all. Sorry for that. And save it. Oh, you see? This is interesting. I'm not allowed to set the value to 8 because of something I mentioned. I made a mistake, but this is interesting. It's because this value here cannot be set to 8 if I'm using a constant 4. This means like the bits is maximum to 7. So to be able to set this to 8, I need to change this to a constant of type 16. 16 based, not 4 based. So I save the app. Let's go back, compile it, go back, and let's install it and do a check. Yeah, I need to uninstall it first because of the signature is not the same. So okay, yes, I want to uninstall it first, and let's install the new one. So the only thing we modify is we said do not show and do not load any ads. So we remove all this information from the app, and let's see if it's going to work now that the ads is not going to happen. Let's open the moment of truth. Remember that the ads was on this lower part. So let's get started. Okay, so close this one. Oops. As you can see, in the main screen, I don't have ads anymore. Let's go to settings, remove this, go back to home, no more ads. Let's say in the form. Also, in the form, I don't have any ads here. Okay, let's go to the home and do the exercise. Let's say I'm doing the exercise.
Warm up for 5 minutes. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go.
Remember, when I finish
Ready,
this,
go.
I will see usually a full screen ads. Oops, it goes.
Great job. See you again in a couple of days.
So by removing the ads from loaded, I delete the ads all in the app. Done. Go to settings. Let's remove the sound and go back again, do another exercise, see if this time I'm going to see an ads. This is how we, okay, great. Yes, I like it, but not now. I didn't see any ads. Done. And notice that I didn't change the ads in the XML file, but nothing is loaded here. This is how we remove ads from the app, by going to the code in the text file. Follow the function who loading the apps and say, I don't want to load it at all. Thank you very much.